Okay.
Where it
You
touches.
don't mind? I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a simul broadcast here,
Okay, cool.
so other people can watch me drink beer. Are we doing that? We're having good old Miller High Life here for people who are just joining us. 40-ounce bottle, $2.29. You don't need a lot of money to become an alcoholic. It's the only cheap thing in this recession. That's horrible. That's horrible.
Oh no, God. That and a pair of gum.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this is exactly the time when there's less competition. This is the time when you should really push hard. If you're in real estate, this is the time when maybe there's not as many buyers because everyone's preoccupied with shopping and everything. If you watch the news about Walmart, people are breaking down doors to get the specials and everything like that, and the poor employees get run over. I think this is the time to make call. I found a lot of deals here in North Carolina while I've been here a couple of weeks. Just going on Zillow and stuff like that. Pick up the phone. I call the realtors. I call the homeowners. I talk to people. I use the system I talk about all the time, Guts, and everything like that.
You mentioned you got a deal earlier in Justin's show. Congratulations.
Thank you. And it's like on Zillow in particular, you can set it for the properties you're looking for, and so that you get immediate notifications. So when someone lists something new, it goes right to on your phone there, or your watch starts beeping or whatever, and you call them right away. You can act quickly. You can be the first one to call. How important is that to react quickly?
Oh, super. Yeah, because it shows that you are interested in this property. But how did that conversation go? Did they try to haggle with you, or
the first deal I did, which I did in Colorado before I left? No, they wanted cash, and it was a really great price, and it was rock bottom. I didn't want to. It was kind of a desperate situation, and the price was so good. And basically I called it a credit card deal, 25,000. You put it on a credit card, boom, you got the deal. And you get mileage points. Other deals, couldn't be owner finance, could be lease purchase, can be cash. I love owner finance. We were doing that role play today earlier with Justin. I mean, that's really what happens. So I think now is a good time to accelerate your business, not get caught up in all the hype. And while everyone else is cruising or sliding or slacking, just go for it. It's a good time to accelerate your business. Absolutely. What was the other thing I wrote on my there? Let's see. What beer does Santa Claus drink? I can't think. Ho Heineken. I mean, I don't know. We were thinking. I looked it up. I couldn't find any snappy names for beers that Santa Claus drinks.
We'll have to create it.
Yes, absolutely. I believe in creating things. One of the things you're going to see me do, I have a lot of content that I've not marketed properly. So, just a little. One of them is a book I wrote a couple of years ago, and I really didn't do. And it's called a Lease Purchase Christmas Carol. And, where's my share screen here? And I read it. Whoops. No, we don't want to see.
Purchase Christmas Carol.
No, we don't want to see that. I made it into an audio book. That's what just popped up. This is what I wanted to show you. My original design on that book was this. Can you see that?
Oh, yes.
I don't like it. It's plain, it's white, it's yuck. So I redesigned it with my regular 3-minute timer. And I also made it into put a little thing. I had someone do this at Fiverr for me. I love Fiverr. They do it so quick. Fiverr, is it? Is that right? Yeah. And for like, I don't know, $15-20, someone redesigned it for me.
In
Uh,
the audiobook, did you like add
and I
like
made it, go ahead.
in the audiobook, did you add like a fire crackling sound in the background, or is it
That I need someone to who does audio edits. Do you have anybody in mind?
hello,
Seriously,
Claude? Hello, Claude. My name is Christina. Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you. You must be calling me for a reason. Do you do audio?
Um,
Can you do audio? Can you edit audio?
yes, that seems like something that we'd be able to do. There must be a reason that you're asking for that, right?
Yeah, because good move. Where'd you learn that? Um, people like audiobooks, and so I recorded already the audio,
Mm-hmm.
and basically, people. I'm a big fan of Audible, and Audible does something wonderful. Let me see if I can pull this up and show it to you. Do you read a lot of books? Are you a book reader?
I am a book reader.
Yeah. I'm reading a great book right now. And what's wonderful is you can read the book on Kindle.
Mm-hmm.
And then while you're reading it, if you like.
So I talked for a while, lying on my bed the last 6 months. He lay on his bed, looking at the concrete ceiling, listening, keeping his mind off his problems. I told him about leaving from the Pentagon.
So
I did that.
Yeah, it's called Whisper Sync. And it's what's wonderful. Audible does it. Audible's owned by Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you buy a book, a regular Kindle book, and then you buy the audio book at a discount, they have a thing called Whisper Sync. And you can, on your laptop, your iPad, your iPhone, your Apple Watch, you can listen, or not on the app, or you can read and listen, and it all synchronizes. And sometimes it's nice to read a book, just text. Sometimes it's nice to listen to a book while I'm running. And sometimes it's really nice to have the book read to you and highlight the words as you're reading it. And
that's
so
nifty.
Yeah, that is nifty. I've written, and the book I wrote is Elise Purchase Christmas Carol.
Mm-hmm.
And it's where I took the story of, the story of Scrooge, and there's like 18 different black and white and color versions. I even Murray, what's his name from Saturday Night Live? Jim Murray? No, I forgot his
Bill
name.
Murray.
Bill Murray, thank you. And Bill Murray did a Scrooge, and then there's the old Alliston McClare, whatever his name is. He did the black and white, and there's so many versions. I did it with pertaining to lease purchasing in real estate. And I wrote the book, and I've never really promoted it very heavily. And I think I'm going to be doing that now. And I also recorded my own audio on it too.
And I think that was super creative of you to do or remodel it into your gut system. I mean,
yeah.
And the
Would
audio.
you like me to read the first very short chapter?
Yeah.
Maybe we can use it.
It should do very well as shorts too.
Yeah, it's gonna do fabulous as shorts.
Oh yeah, the timing is great. And here's all my other books that I've written on here for some reason. And here's the index, and I'm doing a little editing on it, but let me just read it real quick. Chapter 1, Agony. This is real fast. I won't bore you for long here. I remember when it was the best of times in the lease purchase creative real estate business, but for the last couple of years, it had been the worst of times. Off the role play or off the reading, you can see this is right from Dickens. This is how it starts in his book, Great Expectations. I really couldn't afford the hot meal that I was currently eating, but I was starving. I sat down to a steaming giant bowl of Chiapino at my favorite Seattle pub on the water. It was full of shrimp, scallops, lobster, and the local catch of the day, halibut or sea bass. I grabbed a chunk of the warmly fresh baked sourdough bread and dunked it in the rich red broth, cherishing every bite. Man, I was hungry. I ordered another Anchor Steam beer, my favorite. No, off the reading, you know what I'm doing.
Yep.
You know what I'm doing.
I'm already hungry.
You're already, it is good. And if you've ever been, one of my favorite restaurants in the world is in the city of San Francisco on the Fisherman's Wharf. It's called Skoma's. And that's where I got this idea from, little background. And they just bring you a big bowl of this cheese. It's all fillet fish and a little red sauce. And they give you the steaming hot thing of sourdough bread, which they're famous for. And you rip off a chunk and and you dunk it in. And it's just,
I know
so good.
exactly the place that you're speaking about.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm very familiar with the wharf. What is it called? Cove Wolf?
Skoma's. It's on the
Skoma's.
Fisherman's Wharf.
Fisherman's Wharf, yes.
And it's a wonderful restaurant, white tablecloths, and you get their local beer, which is the Anchor Steam beer, which is one of the great beers of all time. Hard to find sometimes in most places. And that's what I opened up. And part of this is the persuasion technique. I always talk about words are dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I also found that people love food. The top food, what do you call it? Podcasts and YouTubes, millions of clicks and watchers are usually from foodies, people who go to restaurants or review foods, if you ever see it. So I use it I always open up my book with with somebody who's hungry with great food and try to be as descriptive as possible.
You did a very fabulous job. Like I'm
thank you.
craving that right now.
Hungry.
But a
There's
little
always
far
leftover
from
turkey. There's always those leftover turkeys.
very far from California and the seafood though.
Oh yeah. You have good seafood in Texas though, don't you? But you're not near the Gulf. I'm thinking
No.
I have a friend who lives on San Padre Island, Corpus
fine.
Christi, and all he does is talk about the great seafood out there. It's on the Gulf though.
Yeah. So yeah, they have great seafood, but like
Yeah.
the rest of Texas.
How far are you from the Gulf? Like 500 miles or something?
Yeah, good 4 or 5 hours from the drive.
I don't think anybody really understands the size of Texas.
Honestly, we're like
Huge.
yeah. We can be, if we ever divided, like if we ever decided to divide Texas, you can do a good 4 other states from.
Oh yeah, 4
Mhm.
states. Texas is. I love Texas too. If I ever had to leave California, Colorado, North Carolina, Texas would be definitely. I like San Antonio. And what's the college town?
Austin?
Austin is great. I like Texas. I like the spirit. I love the spirit of Texas. They
Yeah,
still think it's their own country down there.
we
right?
defend our own. I mean, yeah.
Texas was its own little country for a while.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think they still have their own militia too. I'm not quite sure about that. Don't quote me, but
How about you still have the Texas Rangers?
yeah, and Cowboy fans are Cowboy fans.
Oh, yeah.
They root
Remember
for their own.
Remember the Alamo?
Remember the Alamo? Yes, the Alamo.
Absolutely. I've been there too. Great piece of history. So
Mhm.
back into the little book there. I hadn't eaten in 2 days, not since the visit by my old lease purchase mentor, Max. Oh yes, did I fail to mention that he passed away many years ago? Yes, this is a ghost story. But first, let me give you a little more background. Emily, my girlfriend, she hated it when I described her by the term wife. She felt it was an unromantic description of our relationship. We had a great life together. We had known each other since high school, went on to college, graduate school, and had a fun $35 wedding in Vegas, which she paid for. We had 2 kids, a boy and a girl. I went on to corporate America, and she became a stay-at-home homeschooling mom. The Lexus and the Caddy were always new and shiny. All was going according to plan. We were part of the American dream. Money was good and got even better when I began my own real estate investment company. We had the life, the vacations to Europe and Hawaii every year, no balance on the credit cards, best restaurants. Yep, we had it all. And then as quickly as we had it, we lost it all. The economy, the banks, and most importantly, the real estate market crashed. I should have seen it coming. All the signs were there. When it hit us, we lost our savings in the new McMansion, lost all of its equity with crazy high payments, which we couldn't afford. I figured that I was always a good provider and I'd be able to turn things around. It was only a month ago that I was trying to get up the courage to tell Em that there would be no Christmas gifts this year. In fact, we were probably going to lose our home in the next 30 days if I couldn't pay the back payments on our home. We stopped using the heating system and resorted to me chopping wood for the Franklin stove. The electric company was threatening to shut off the electricity. I gave the Lexus back at the end of 12-month lease and bought a used Volkswagen Bug with 150,000 miles on it. All this was going on in my head as I pulled into the driveway. It was already dark at 5:30 in the evening. Damn, there was nosy Lenny, my neighbor. You could imagine that this was a very embarrassing situation. Even the neighbors got into the picture of our economic demise when I showed up in the Bug. Hey, Ralph, how come the house is always so dark? You starting a candle making business? His smirk could be seen between the yards of our home. He had the manicured home while my domain needed a new coat of paint 3 years ago. Just trying to create a romantic atmosphere, Lenny, I replied nonchalantly. Is that car a classic? Well, looks like the one I drove in high school, he laughed. Why didn't this jerk just mind his own business? I waved goodbye as I went through the front door. The kids were busy doing homework in front of the TV, the small one with the rabbit ears antenna, as we lost cable service last month. Emily came to the door as always did, smiling, and gave me her perfunctory kiss. How did it go today, sweetie? You know, the same old stuff. Everyone says, call me after the new year or I have to think about it. I was on my roll with my usual diatribe about the problems with the banks, lawyers, economy, and politicians. How an honest, creative real estate investor couldn't make a living these days. She had heard this quite often. Why don't you relax? Dinner will be ready in a half hour. What are we having, Em? Leftover mac and cheese casserole, she replied. God, I was so sick of that stuff, but I kept my mouth shut. If it wasn't for her part-time nursing job, we would have been living with the in-laws. Need I go on with you about that? I retreated to my office and looked over the bills. I knew there wasn't anything I could do about them. Heck, I didn't even have enough money for gas. We had a quiet dinner. All I wanted to do was shower, crawl into bed, and pull the cover over my head. I hate mac and cheese. I think I know what depression is. All I was doing was thinking about money day and night. I had to turn things around, but how? I had to stop this crash. Not so much for me, but for Emily and the kids. I needed a Christmas miracle, like in the old movies, and I needed one fast. That's the first chapter. Thank you. A little long, I'm sorry.
It's not long. It was very entertaining.
I write very, I'm not I just try to make it interesting. I'm not, I love reading other people. I'm a big Stephen King fan, and I'm just in awe that they can write these stories with so many different people and characters and things going on at the same time and everything. I kind of write in a straight line.
But it's very entertaining and very
thank you.
engaging.
You're very nice. Thank you.
Thank you, Todd.
Anyway, if you wanted to take that recording I just did, I am recording this,
Okay.
and it's also on YouTube, and maybe use it for a video, a longer video. I think it was about 6 minutes long, that reading. And I was thinking, I wanted your opinion on this. How about if I read chapters, like every day I read another chapter, and not finish it and say, well, if you want to know the ending of this story, you got to go to my webpage and buy the book or audio.
Yeah. 25 days till Christmas, question mark.
I am such a sucker for, like, do you know the show Yellowstone?
I don't.
Oh, it's a great show. It's about a family in Montana and everything. And I just watched the first 2 episodes on Amazon. And every week they come out with a new episode. I spent like $30 to buy the whole season. I got to see what happens. They sucked me in. The to be continued concept of marketing is
It's
very
exactly
strong.
what we do with shorts.
Yes. Yeah. Well, do we do that with shorts, or do we just throw out one different issue at a time?
It depends because it can definitely be set up that way.
Mhm.
Like when we do a conversation, I feel like it's a to be continued because you want to know what happened in the entire beginning, middle, and end.
Mhm.
And sometimes we just get it from the middle and I want the ending. Or sometimes it's just one clip and that kind of summarize the talk that was supposed to be made.
Okay. Well, I have all this content, and I'm trying to try, and I'm thinking what would be better than maybe the author reading sections of the book. Like, here's my first book, and I've sold a lot of them. I mean, a lot. And let me see if I can. The Mentor: A Story of Success. I might redo the cover here. Okay. And I wrote this a while ago.
Mhm.
And people really love this book. It's about this poor schnooky character, Ralph. He's down on his luck and he has a horrible job and he has the worst boss in the world. Okay. And he just starts off saying how sick of it he is, how drained he is. He's in a bad job and a bad boss and and he's always broke and everything like that. He doesn't have and he doesn't have a girlfriend or anything like that. And one day he just explodes at work. He goes ballistic at work, and because the boss is all over him and everything, he just goes, oh, and he quits his job. And he really needed this. He needed the money. He hated the job. And he goes to the park and he's really sad. He's crying. And this old man comes up to him. What's wrong? Maybe I can help you. And that's the mentor. And little does he know, the mentor is this very successful, international, flamboyant character, with his own jet and everything like that. And it's a happy ending. I like happy endings.
Me too.
Don't you hate endings that I don't know if I understood what happened here?
Yes. That happens a lot with the shows that I watch. It kind of leaves me on a cliffhanger to guess my own reality. And I don't want to guess. I want to know.
I still don't understand the end of The Sopranos, and I love that show.
Me too.
Was he killed? What happened? It just kind of faded to black there all of a sudden. It was really, I want an ending, and I want a happy ending. I want resolution,
Yes. Like the king, what was it, Game of Thrones? I feel like it wasn't even, I didn't like the ending towards it.
Why did he have to kill her? Okay,
Right.
she had a dark side. Oh, I mean, everybody makes mistakes. She killed a whole city off. I mean, with her dragons. And
It just left me. I like my endings like I want like my food to leave me satisfied.
Not stuffed.
Mm-hmm.
Just happy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was so good. Oh, I can't wait to go back again.
Mm-hmm.
There's so few restaurants. My favorite restaurant. Let's talk about my favorite restaurant. And it's really funny. I hate expensive, fancy schmancy restaurants. And they always disappoint me.
Why is that?
Because I think I'm a person who likes simple things.
Hmm.
One of my favorite little places was a hole in New Jersey, was a little hole in the wall restaurant. It was called the Seafood Shack. Everything was fresh made, and big salads with homemade blue cheese dressing and fried calamar. And the bartenders used to sing. There was a piano behind the bar, and the bartenders used to sing while you were waiting for your table. It was so busy, and you'd have a drink and you'd sing along with the bartender, and then you'd sit down to this great meal. and everything. And it wasn't expensive. That was the best part. Don't you love those little places? I remember one place also, it was called My Little Italian Restaurant. It was an out of the way place, and you had to bring your own wine.
BYOW?
I'm sorry?
BYOW. Bring your own
BYOW.
wine.
You brought your own wine. And the first thing they do is put this giant bowl of salad in front of you, an oil and vinaigrette or whatever. And they made only a couple dishes like spaghetti and meatballs and lasagna and pizza. Very simple. And it was just a little plate, and the line went out the door and down the street.
Ooh,
And you know, when you bring your own wine, you don't spend a lot of money.
but that's legal? Like,
It was
not-
legal in this restaurant in New Jersey. Yes, they had a
okay.
special license. They didn't have a liquor license, but they had a license where the people could bring in their own wine. And I think there was a corkage fee. You know, they do
Mm.
that for you for $5 or something like that.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Oh, no, you never had that? You never heard of that?
No, we don't
It's
have that
really
in El
cool.
Paso.
I love bring your own booze places because they
Man,
got to work, because they got to make it on the food.
I don't think they have that here in El Paso.
Yeah.
California probably, but not.
Trying to
Oh
think,
man.
trying to think
Oh,
where.
my partner said that if you send us the recording of each chapter, we can break it up, like we did with the Cardone call.
Okay, shall do.
And
And
he
you can
says-
add some special effects or music background or something, uncopyrighted or copyright-free music.
yeah.
Okay, great.
And then he also says that he thinks that it'll do well, because we did a video of Justin's call script without the video, and that did well. So he thinks yours will do better because it's a story.
It's a story, and I can just read chapter after chapter and make custom videos for you.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But the actual product that I'd like to sell, I'd like to have, it would be great if I had some either special effects or some soft music in the background at certain parts.
Oh, okay. I got
You
you.
know what I'm saying?
So like in the opening of the book, having the
Mhm.
crackling fire in the background,
Or at
and then
the
it
end.
fades. Okay, and then it
And
fades in so you
they
can tell
lived
your story.
happily ever after, and then the music, no, you know.
Okay. You have a
Something
vision
like
in your head, and I like that.
Oh,
Claude.
yeah, absolutely. I want to start, I'm thinking that is like, if you want to talk about New Year's resolutions, this is a thing I'm working on right now. And I have all these books, which I none of them have been converted to audio, which is what I'm going to be doing. And you can be real honest with me. Do you think I should be reading my own books, or I should hire
think so.
someone?
No. I think you have a very good reading voice.
Thank you.
It's soothing.
You can tell me I
and-
suck. It's
No,
okay.
I would if you did, but you don't,
Okay.
so we're good.
You really would say that to me, Claude? You really suck. You can't, don't read your own books. You can't do that. No, I'm
Claude,
kidding. I'm having fun. You're too polite.
I have your best interest in heart, and I don't think you should read this book. Probably someone with a little bit soother voice would that's the route I would go if
Okay.
you didn't have the good voice, but you do. And
Yeah.
you're very eloquent, and you
Thank you.
enunciate good words.
Thank you. And the thing about it is, I can use that as a leader to develop my following and put it on all the social media. And I use the product. I like to write, and the products I write, I like to use my products as not so much to make money, but to develop attraction marketing.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I have a mentoring business, and I really love that business. I really love that part of my business. And the thing about it is, if people read my books or watch the videos and then buy the book and then schedule with me a free consultation, which anyone can do from my webpage, claudediamond.com. See how I slid that in there? That's how I've always attracted new clients. Content marketing. I practice what I preach.
You do, and it gets you the following that you want. I mean, it gives you people who are actually serious and want to make this a habit. and not just a resolution.
Yeah, one of the best videos I ever saw. His name is Joe Aides, AIDS, and he was this little Englishman who lived in New York City. He'd go out every day with his little tweed suit. He was a cute little old man with his little wagon, and he'd go out to Times Square, and then he'd peel carrots and potatoes and sell these little Swiss potato peelers for $5. Okay. What no one knew is he lived on Park Avenue. It's where millionaires live. And he made a massive amount of money, enough to send his grandkids to college, his daughter he lived a wonderful, but every morning he'd get out and take his little wagon and go sell in Times Square. And he was interviewed by the Good Morning America or something. And they asked him, how come you're so successful? And he says, never underestimate how much money you can make selling a small, wonderful little item repeatedly. Yeah. I love learning from other people.
And I think that's also why you're a great teacher as well.
Oh,
Because
thank you. I enjoy teaching.
I think a lot of people are so stuck on their way that they're not able to adapt into a new form. And we as humans should be able to adapt and transform
Change.
ourselves to the better. Yeah.
I think change is the operative word.
Yeah. There
Are
we go.
you able to change? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, can you adapt to new technology, new means of marketing?
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I have trouble with is music. I can't get into Taylor Swift. Sorry. I can't, I don't get her at all. And I don't get another one. I can't think of her name. I really try to adapt to music. I think I am so stuck in 70s, 80s, and 90s music.
Oh geez. I haven't listened to Taylor Swift in a while though.
She's big. She's
Yes.
what you can't take away from her is she's a good performer.
Mm-hmm.
She has a very loyal following,
Mm-hmm.
and she's a smart woman. She's such a smart marketer.
That's true.
Nobody takes advantage of her. She makes every dime. And she's really smart in terms of business and marketing. And you can learn from people like that.
Victor told me that Brandon B is commenting.
Oh, somebody's commenting?
Yeah, on YouTube.
Oh, good. Let me see. You know what? I've been neglecting. Let's see here. Oh, Brandon B. Hello, Claude. Hope you are well today. Loving your book and all your content. Claude's got a great voice, very fluent. Thank you, Brandon. You're good for my overinflated ego. Thank you. And Lady Gaga was the other one. No, I love Lady Gaga.
See, you are adaptable.
I am. I mean,
but
oh God,
Lady Gaga has an incredible voice range. Like, she is so soulful.
She's very soulful, and she's got she's got a fantastic voice. She's got a great original material. You know what I think she does wrong? She does the wacky outfits, and she does the meat around her neck and everything, all the gimmickry bullshit that I always get the feeling someone told her to do stupid stuff and wear stupid clothes. She is so talented. She doesn't have to do the sensational stuff, you know?
Well, I think she's just trying to find her like originality of herself, because how do you distinguish yourself from thousands of artists who are trying to be upcoming as well?
She can do it on the music alone.
I mean,
in the music alone, she can do it.
She's doing it now.
She doesn't need to do gimmicks and things. Maybe you need to do that. I'll agree with you. Maybe you need to do that in the beginning to get the attention that you need.
But she doesn't do that anymore. Like in the recent years, she's kind of mellowed out too.
But she great music. Bruce Springsteen just did a great interview on Howard Stern. I mean, I've never been a huge I'm from New Jersey, and Bruce Springsteen is like a god in New Jersey. Okay, he's like Bon Jovi, people, they just love. And I've never been a super big fan, but I heard the interview and he played some of his music, and you could tell there was such talent there, such talent and everything. So I do adapt to music. What was the one song, Blinded by the Light, or no? Oh gosh, I'm trying to think. There's a few people I do follow and like, but a lot of it to me seems like, it just seems like junk, electronic junk.
Mm.
I'm waiting for the next evolutionary step in music.
I can't relate with. I listen to like Korean music and Japanese music.
Really?
Yeah, a lot. Like more than English
Gangnam,
song.
how about Korean Gangnam Style?
Yeah,
No, that's really old. That's shit. That's got to be how old?
2014.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
I said that too fast.
When did he do that? Oh my God,
I
5,
think
6 years ago.
2013, 14.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
It was.
Absolutely. So that's kind of, let's talk about you, or what are you guys up to? What are your plans for 2023?
I believe we're going to be, I'm not quite sure.
Okay.
I think we're staying in Texas for another month or two and then going back to California. Business wise, we're still doing our marketing and we're still doing our real estate.
Okay. What part of California?
San Jose area.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's really nice. I love California. California is getting a bad rap from everybody right now.
Really? Why so?
Because we have stupid government in California, and they have made it very expensive for people and way too many rules. And they're killing the one thing. Why did everybody come to California in the 50s and 60s? Why did that big California attract? What made California so attractive? Besides the weather, the beaches, the mountains, the desert.
It's
I mean,
liberal.
it was a place for entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
It was a place anybody could get a fresh start.
That's very true.
And I think they beat the shit out of that stuff. It's so expensive now, and there's so many rules and things. And yes, it's become too liberal. It really has. It's out of kilter. It's out of balance. Having said that, I still love California. I love my friends, my neighbors, our home there. I love the weather. Something about Santa Claus in shorts in December, it's just, and when it's February and you watch TV about all the weather everywhere else in California, you're turning up the air conditioning in Southern Cal. I mean, that's great.
Yep.
When you can go to the beach, in February, I mean, that's nice.
I think the water's too cold for that, isn't that?
I don't go in the water. I just like to go to the beach, and you can go running or biking or skating or even the surfers wear wetsuits or dry suits in California.
That's true.
I mean, our water's always cold.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And everything. Well, good for you. San Jose, exciting.
Yeah, and I think because we stay in Texas for half of the year and then we go with Victor's family for half of the year.
I love that. So you don't take vacations, you just move.
Yeah.
There's something to be said about that lifestyle. Okay. To be able to live in places that other people take vacations. That's always been what I liked.
I think it's more of because we're both very family oriented. Like I want to spend time with my family and he wants to spend time with his family because we're a little bit opposite. Like he has a huge family and my family is my brother, sister-in-law, and my 2 nieces and nephews. And we both treasure the huge family and the small family. So
Yeah.
it works out.
Family's important.
Hmm.
Family's real important. Somebody, you need help. You get a situation. Who else? Nobody else is going to help you except family. Okay. Claudia is great taking care of her mom and everything like that. And her sisters take care of her mom or older mom. And who would take care? We don't want to put mom in a nursing home or something. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but we just, isn't it better that family takes care of somebody rather than just dump them in an institution?
Hmm.
I don't know. I agree with you. I'm super big on family.
Vic,
On
you're
that.
saying you have another comment on YouTube, I believe?
Did Victor had a question or something?
No, he's saying you have another comment on YouTube.
Oh, let's see it. Oh, I should be monitoring it better. I thought we'd have more people on here tonight, but c'est la vie. Let's see what we have here. There it is. Lady Gaga was the other one, I bet. Almost 10 years ago. Happy Thanksgiving to Claude and your time. Same to you, Brandon B. Thank you. You have a great holiday. Now we're on the fast track, right? I mean, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa are around the corner. Do you think is it too intense? Is Christmas too nuts too early? Did it come earlier? I saw Christmas, word here. I saw Christmas trees in Costco at Labor Day weekend. What is wrong with that?
I believe Christmas is very much so related to greed.
I mean, I love the whole secular Christmas.
Yeah.
I like the trees. I like the Santa Claus. I like the snow. I like even the commercials. I like the kid who puts his tongue on the light pole and everything. I like all that. I love all the movies and I love the whole thing. Okay, but it starts so early.
It does.
Oh my gosh.
I agree with you. Like, I like the magical moments, and for some people it brings families together for that one time of year, and
Oh
it's
yeah.
like, like it makes people different. It does.
People are nice.
People are nicer. They are super nicer.
People are very nice.
And you can get a lot more deals when they're nicer.
Well, part of that is, how do you make somebody, going back to the psychology of persuasion and influence. Sorry, you triggered me just now. Positively. How do you get somebody, total stranger, to like and trust you quickly? My mentor was so great on that. He was such a charismatic person. He had that magic. Can you meet a total stranger and make them laugh, make them smile, make yourself attractive to them? Are there ways to do that?
Of course.
Are there things you can say to people to make them feel so good about themselves that nobody else, maybe somebody's had a bad day all day long, and you go to them and you make them smile, you make them laugh, or you make them feel like their life has meaning. And everything. How much easier is it to do business with that person now?
Incredibly. Yeah.
I think we have to work on that, studying how to do that. What are the right words to use, formatted in a question or telling a story or something? How do we go to a total stranger and make them say, "Oh my gosh, I like this. I like this person." Instant, what do they call that when you fall instantly in love with somebody?
Love at first sight.
Yeah, love at first. How do you create love at first sight?
Oh man, that's hard.
Think how powerful that is in marketing.
Yeah.
How powerful that is. It's amazing. I'm going to go.
Okay.
Thank you for joining. I'm the only person who joined me out of all of I sent out a couple hundred emails, and here we are. We're all alone. And good. And we talked too much about me and not enough about you, but thank you.
I like speaking about you. You're an interesting person to talk with.
Thank you. I try. I made more mistakes than other people.
And those are why the mistakes are what I want to learn from you.
You learn so much from your mistakes. and when you start to when you build up your confidence, it's so great when you stop being this self-conscious person who,
Mhm.
when you become
Agreed.
that, what's that Peanuts character with the blanket and sucking it, Linus?
I believe so.
That little insecure Charlie Brown character.
Oh,
and
yes,
everything,
yes, yes.
And you become more like Snoopy.
I love Snoopy.
Yes. Schultz reflected the artist and the inventor of Peanuts. He reflected his personality through those characters. Because sometimes in his life, he was that guy with the blanket over his head and sucking his thumb. Sometimes he was Charlie Brown. Oh, good grief, I did it again. Oh, I'm such a dummy. And then sometimes he was nasty like Lucy. Or sometimes he was that flamboyant Snoopy.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh, yeah. You can learn so much from that stuff. Their personalities come right through those cartoon characters.
It does.
Absolutely.
I will. Thank you so much, Claude. I really appreciate the
welcome.
time.
See you later. Have a good weekend. Bye,
You
Victor.
too.